Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to Get Indie Gaming, to some wholesome indie game content that'll hopefully give you some entertainment while so many of us are all staying inside. In today's video, we have 7 indie games that launched this past March just gone that you might have missed that are definitely worth still looking into. Up first at number 7. While already out on PC, Switch and the Xbox One in early September of last year, Creature in the Well bounced and dodged its way onto the PlayStation 4 on the last day of the month, this March 31st just gone. You play as Bot C, the last of a group of robot engineers tasked with looking after and maintaining an ancient weather machine that's buried deep within a mountain that was built to help and protect the city of Mirage. Thanks to a sinister creature that pops up throughout the game, the machine has been dormant for centuries, with it having a devastating effect on the city it was built to protect. Spread across 8 different dungeons, Creature in the Well is a hack-and-slash dungeon crawler with a few significant twists to keep it all nice and fresh. It's best to think of this one as a pinball with swords, where you can charge up energy orbs and have them bounce around the bumpers and other objects and enemies, while also solving puzzles, which in turn unlocks more rooms as you progress within the dungeons. It's all so very fast and frantic that early on, it can feel a little bit overwhelming, although once you've gotten used to the controls and how to judge best the ways of controlling the orbs, all things fall nicely into place. We love the art style with its comic book-like designs inspired by Hellboy, with Creature in the Well having been also nominated for an IGF award for excellence in visual art. If you've yet to play this on any platform and fancy a dungeon pinballing crawler that's dark in places and comes with a stiff but rewarding challenge, Creature in the Well might just be a game for you. Like Creature in the Well, this month's number 6, well, it was also out on Steam and Switch in September of last year, although this March 24th saw it also make its way onto both the Xbox and the PlayStation 4. Now, Freedom Finger is kinda different, which is pretty much what attracted it to us in the first place. It's a side-scrolling, what could be called a classical shoot-'em-up, but with melee combat. As you can see on screen now, you're in command of a spaceship that's in the shape of a giant hand, or perhaps more accurately, one big giant finger. You can punch, grab and shoot the enemies, all within 40 or so handcrafted levels spread about 13 different worlds. Each of these have a different style, different enemies, different power-ups and multiple challenges. While all silly and puerile in places, it's fully voiced, it has a wonderful animated story and comes with a few parental control options to make it that little bit more family-friendly. Next up at number 5, coming out in a staggered launch with the first one in March just gone. Alder's Blood feels really rather overlooked, and we'll put our hands up on that as well for saying, well, we missed it when it first launched. While there's hardly a shortage of turn-based games across any of the current platforms, Alder's Blood manages to stand out for a few reasons. First of which, well, it's the oppressive and harrowing atmosphere it creates, which, given the name of the characters with their hunter's term, feels like the team behind it were looking towards Bloodborne for inspiration. Well, if so, they totally nailed it, Alder's Blood being, it's just so darn bleak and oppressive. The implementation of the permadeath is also really so very weighty, that players are forced to deeply consider each move, how and the why and the where for their overall strategies, and how everything comes together. Almost every action within the combat is in some way going to drain your stamina, and if that's depleted, well, it's usually game over. In some cases, it seems the game even rewards you for eschewing combat altogether, which again is a great little touch and a point of difference, as is how some of the demons you face are able to react to your sound and your scent, which travels on the wind, meaning you're constantly in a state of alertness in judging how your actions might result in your discovery. Alder's Blood really is rather superb, if a little grim, with it offering in places a new fresh take on the well-established genre. You can play this today on the Nintendo Switch, and it also comes to PC towards the middle of April. Next up at number 4, and something, well, just a little bit lighter, and dare we say it, a tad more hearty looking. This action platforming puzzler came out on March 5th, where we've played this exclusively on the Nintendo Switch, and sadly we're thinking it's likely to get buried in the messy wave that is the Nintendo eShop. and that's more the pity. And while it's clearly going after that retro vibe and overall look and feel, it does offer up some really good ideas, particularly within its platforming and puzzle sections that in places are super fun and really enjoyable. It also looks, well, ever so darn so cute with the 16-bit pixel art stylings being really well done and ever so detailed with some really fine animation that while it's a tribute to the past, it's full of modern tweaks that should help make Wunderling, or is it Wunderling, really stand out. What we found that works really well, however, is how it encourages you to play the levels over and over. While, dare we say it, there's usually a simple way to reach the end of the levels, there are other ways and routes you can take, most of which are worthwhile you doing so by giving you, say, a treasure chest or such rewards as golden flowers, which are also key in keeping your character nice and healthy. So yes, sadly we're thinking this one is liable to remain a real hidden gem that we love talking about, and that's a real shame. We hope more people will pick it up either on the Switch or via Steam, where it's available for PCs. Coming in at number 3, Afterparty got a launch this past March on the Nintendo Switch, which made this the last of the major platforms to see a release of the game. It's the follow-up to Oxenfree from Night School Studios, and in places it's a heartwarming story about friendship and relationship, with it also touching upon many issues and problems we can all face in our regular or not so regular lives. Naturally, given the subject matter, it also draws upon themes relating to death and grief. The two main characters, Milo and Lola, are superbly voice acted, as are pretty much all of the characters you come across, all the while trying to escape back to the mortal world after you've both found yourself in hell, where you're trying to take on Satan himself within a drinking game to win back your freedom. The narrative and dialogue is extremely witty and, perhaps as could be expected given the subject matter, pretty darn offensive in places, although all of this is tempered with comedy aspects that lightens the overall mood. If you missed this one first time round, then Afterparty is a fine follow-up to Oxenfree, and up there as being one of the best releases on the eShop so far in 2020. Up next at number 2, One Step from Eden is a mix-up of quite a few different genres, and while we're in a totally honest frame of mind, none of us here at Get Indie Gaming are particularly good at it. That said, it's still a fun game to play, although for us at times there's just so much going on screen for us to deal with at any one time. Slay the Spire is one such influence, as is the Mega Man Battle Network, where the combat here takes place on a 4x8 grid that's split between you and your enemy. While you begin with one character, battling through the game sees more added to the roster, while also giving you additional outfits and accessories. As for the combat, well, it's so very fast. You're needing to juggle and pay close attention to what's going on while managing your deck of cards. Well, that's what we think we're supposed to be doing, as we're just not very good at it. That said, there is something here to keep us wanting to come back and pick up and play it, and once we think we've gotten past the initial difficulty curve, it might very well grow on us even more. We are really taken with the deck building elements, which are really well implemented, but be warned, all in, it's a tough experience that might be too much for some. One Step from Eden came out on PC and Switch, with it landing on March 26th.
Oh, this is your dad's company? Apparently they offer a wide range of services.
At number 1, and out on the Nintendo Switch late in the month, with it being one of the best surprises from the Nintendo Direct Mini presentation. To be honest, like a few other games of late, Good Job has launched perhaps at the perfect time, with it being a beautifully light-hearted puzzle game all set within an office environment that many of us will know so well. Each level has you tasked with doing things you might actually have to do within any given workplace, such as tidying up, sorting out packages and parcels, and also moving stuff around like projectors from one place to the other. The main objective seems to be getting your assigned task done as quickly as possible, while causing the minimum amount of fuss for the office environment and your other co-workers. In practice though, there's way more fun to be had in doing the opposite, where you're able to generally smash the place up with there being many fine nods to so many office irritants, with the detailed environments putting us back in mind of the water coolers and conference rooms of our 9-to-5 jobs back when we were allowed outside the house. The couch co-op mode is, well, in a word, awesome, with you working with others in what should perhaps be an orderly process of getting things done, although in practice we ended up seeing pretty much double the silliness and slapstick-like action we saw in the single player as we fought across and within the office various rooms and hallways. Each of the levels are fairly short, lasting no more than a handful of minutes, although in these brief moments and working from home time frame, it's one of the best ways we found of late to pass the time. That's all for this one. Let us know which games you've been playing of late. Why not leave us a comment, and if you've liked this video, please click the like. And if you haven't done so, why not subscribe whilst also enabling all of the notifications. We're uploading now nearly every day, and a subscription is the best way to stay up to date and to not miss out on any of our indie game coverage. Either way, many thanks for watching, and we'll see you all here again next time on Get Indie Gaming.